tatta dhimta takita dhimta dhimta tam.
How cheeky would it be to suggest that at all the important political summits that we have, or economic summits or summits on security, that there should be dancers at the table? I'd be laughed out of the room, right? And yet, many ancient traditions across the world had dance as the central modality of their intelligence. Dance in these traditions had the role of being a technology of body consciousness. And that is because many of these traditions were alive to the intelligence, to a more expansive intelligence that would actually allow them to mirror the multidimensional and expansive nature of reality itself. Today, when we speak about mind-body traditions, many of them are really mind over body, or they are bending the body to the knowledge of the mind, whether they're texts or philosophies or techniques. And I'm not saying there is anything wrong with them, by the way. I think anything that connects the mind and the body is a really important practice. But here I'm speaking about a role of dance that goes beyond just that connection of mind and body. It is where we allow the body to lead. And the amazing thing is that because the body leading is non-hierarchical, and so that doesn't mean that the mind is not important or the mind is out of the room, but it just means that it finds its rightful place only when the dynamic is a body-led dynamic. Dance today is considered recreation mostly. It's not really taken very seriously. Of course, dancers like me will take it seriously, but in general it's a bit of a fun thing, or it can be a spectacle, like all the videos we have on TikTok and other platforms, amazing videos, but it's more like a kind of a temporary spectacle, or it's something about keeping fit or doing therapy. But to propose that dance can be a serious intelligence or a technology of consciousness is such a difficult thing to do where we are now. But in many archetypal traditions, even today, dance is this technology, even if we're not claiming it to be as such. What does dance offer that is really unique and very different from a mind-led intelligence? I'm going to share 3 things with you. There are many things, but I'm just going to share 3 of them. One, that that the body is a multi-sensorial intelligence. And what I mean by that is that it is of the senses, and it's simply not just I see something or I listen to something, but multisensorial is that ability to actually experience all of the senses at the same time. This is impossible to do it through the mind, because the mind is a linear intelligence, so it is one after the other. And that's where dance, in this kind of archetypal dancing, brings us, it matches that multidimensionality of the body and really allows us to experience that multidimensionality. Why is multidimensionality important? Because reality is multidimensional. Although we have arranged reality as if it is linear, and just because we have to cope with our mental intelligence, we think it's one after the other. So we have narratives or even words and texts where there is this narrative intelligence. But in fact, in reality, many things happen at the same time. And what these dance traditions, these archetypal dance traditions allow us to do is to be able to move and express that multidimensionality of the body and of reality. The second thing is that the language of the body is movement. It is not just movement that represents something. A lot of the time when we use dance today, we are representing a story, even if it is the story, psychological story of our feelings, or we're representing a technique. But there is a different way of using dance where it is actually off the body. It is free from narrative and it is off the body. The closest that it will come to is like a poem, a poem which is not a linear text. And the body is it's a poetic intelligence, and sometimes it cannot be brought into words. And that's where what dance allows us to do, is to express that intelligence. And when I say express, we come to the third aspect. The body is an expressive intelligence. It must express through the movement. And this expression is how the body, how can I put it, interacts with reality, interacts with the more expansive consciousness, matches and mirrors it, learns, brings that learning back, and then presents it again. And so there is this ongoing spiraling process that happens. And this is the thing about the body, is it's not templated. It's not about what we already know, but it is a constantly renewing and refreshing intelligence. And that is happening through this expression and the responding to that expression, bringing it back in and expressing again. So it is not about stillness as far as the body is concerned. It is about that expression and action in the world. And all of this is because reality itself is an ever-renewing, multi-dimensional, complex consciousness. And what these archetypal dance traditions did is to match that consciousness, because that consciousness begins not out there, but our body, matter. Our body itself is of that very same nature as nature, capital N nature. And dance is that connecting, or that intelligence that mirrors. I think mirrors is a better thing. It's not even just connecting, because it's like there are two separate things. But here it's like this mirroring, this uniting mirror is this role of archetypal dance.